So this here is my new 2000 Ford F-150. Yeah, it actually works this time. Unlike the Subarus, this one pretty much was out of the box. You might be wondering why this is a 50-minute long video, but you'll see in a bit. This thing is fairly clean for its age, going on 25 years, and it looks like it'll still continue to go on for even longer. That's just how it is with these vehicles. I got this when it was only 157,000 kilometers on it. So yeah, I don't know why it's so low. I'm not really complaining because that is beautiful and I know it's going to last for a very long time. It is equipped with the Triton V8 4.6 liter, so it's the bulletproof engine, which is very nice. All I needed to do was some regular maintenance to it to get it working perfectly, at least as perfect as it can be for now, for not a lot of effort. It is the XL trim, so whatever that means. I'm not too familiar with how Ford does their trim levels, especially with something as old as this. What I do know is that it came from Oakville, Ontario. So born and raised in Canada, and it's still in Ontario. Yep. It is hooked up by a 4R70W 4-speed automatic, Ford's automatic transmissions, equipped with the overdrive feature, just so that it runs a bit cooler. That connects to a 4x4 system, having 2 high, 4 low, all the shebang. Although 4 low is a bit iffy, it doesn't really like to switch into it. The transfer case is a tiny bit schizophrenic, but that's for later. And frankly, 4 high works. That's good enough for me. Running the rears is a limited slip differential, so no locking hubs, but it is still very nice and good for winter. As you can see, this one comes with a cap made courtesy of RDL. Got the 6.5-foot bed. Plenty of space for what I use it for, which is just like, I don't know, hauling a snowblower, garbage, tires, and more garbage. Aside from the cab, it did come with 2 sets of tires, or 2 sets of rims actually. One with all-terrain tires, and this one which are winter tires. So all the fun stuff, and both of them are pretty good. Ignore the fact that that's over 10 years old, and it's the Super Cab model. So blending perfect amount of space, and is a very nice package. Moving on to the interior, you got the very nice floor shifter for the transfer case. You have a couple of neat little things. Yeah, you got your good old manual roll down, and it's frozen. Anyways, you have your roll down windows, very nice. You have a pretty clean interior, ignore that, pretty clean for what it is. And then yeah, you have this stuff, very nice clean package. Got the premium radio in there. This person had priorities. It's very nice. So what comes after this? Well, it's a bunch of footage that I've collected over the past month of owning this truck. Just doing the regular maintenance and a couple of little things just to get it squared away and working properly. Problem is, due to unforeseen circumstances, recording this was kind of a pain, and a lot of the footage is just non-existent, either because of time or because of the more likely reason I was too lazy to record everything. So you'll have a bit of this weird future interjection into some of the things just for continuity's sake. So aside from that, enjoy the show. So we've got some spark plugs to put in. That thing is on the road. It's just that some things need attention, and one of the main things I want to do is replace all the spark plugs just while I'm at it. Gonna also do some fluid changes, check some wheel bearings, and then it should be good to go. But this one is the one I want to take note of first, because right now there's a misfire going on in cylinder 6 and some airflow stuff, so I'll check the throttle body while I'm at it. Well, time to get going. Anyway, so the first thing I want to do is before we start pulling stuff, I need to check these, check the gap, make sure that it's good to go. So let's just quickly open all these up. I want to check the gap as well. So for Ford, we want it to be just around 5.6. Right now they're all showing about 5.8. I want to go a tiny bit more. Okay, we're right at 5.3. It's within spec. That was a bit too much. Still a bit too much. 5.3, 5.4. That's good. So this one's done. This one's also done. So yeah, before you do anything, you do want to make sure that all of them are gapped properly. This will take a bit. Usually four more to go. If you're wondering, these are NGK G-Powers, just because that's what was in stock at Canadian Tire, not because I'm biased to this brand. This is actually my first time replacing spark plugs, so do with that information what you will. With that, all these spark plugs are set. Now, with all those gapped, it is time to get to work on the truck. And away we go. Back out here. Beautiful. Ugh. The hood. It's kind of hard doing this with one hand. There we go. Beautiful Triton 4.6 liter. Okay, we can get through those ones. This side, yeah, we'll need to take off the gobbledygoo. Okay. Go. Okay. That works. Holy, look at that. So there we go. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, breakfast has been consumed. You guys should go back here and we continue forward. There you go. Always rely on the herd there. Cool. Now that this thing is out of the way, this frees up a lot more space for us to utilize. Okay, so everything's out of the way. This thing's loose. Gives us access to our coils. Woo, whoa, there we go. Coil held on by 7 mils, all down that line. Focus, focus, focus. You still can't really see it, but trust me, it's there. You can see the tops of them. Anyways, that's what we're doing. And I don't seem to have a longer extension than this. So this is gonna be a bit awkward. There you go. It's not very tight at all. Okay. It does get tightened down to like single digits in terms of pound-foot, but still. Ideally, you'd have some compressed air to use to blow out all the gunk and dirt that's collected on top of these. I don't. So we're not doing that. Beautiful. That came out spectacularly. No oil buildup, nothing. We're good. Extension. Okay, there you go. So that's the first one. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of rough. And once you look at that, NGK's in this. Anyways, when it comes to these ones, you hear a lot of whether or not to put it in with anti-seize or dry. I'm gonna go with the latter. And we're also going to be torquing this higher than what Ford officially calls for, just because of the well-known spark go back out problem. So instead of the recommended, what is it, 9 to 14 foot-pound, I think, we're gonna go with an even 26 pounds. That seems like a good number. There you go. That's the first one done. Put some dielectric grease into joint. Snake it through. Flop it in. Small. Give it a tiny bit of torque, just like so. Plug it back in, and there you go. Fine. Take it loose. Pull it out. Just gonna put you there. Beautiful. Okay. What are we doing here? That is a gnarly bend. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Hello. Hello. Anyways. That is a nice, nasty bend. All part of the plan. Okay, so driver's side is done. Onto the passenger side. Get those 4 done, but it should be easier because this has a lot more electronics and hoses going through it. This one doesn't seem that bad. Okay, this is gonna be awkward. Spark plugs are done. Engine runs fine. We are outside a Princess Auto. Right there. And I'm trying to figure out this. Lower motor is not working, it only works on high. Can you focus? Holy. And man, it's a pain. Because this is what the problem is. This is the resistor for it. Those are the pin connections for it. Safe to say it's not supposed to look like that. I was able to get the part already because of the time skip. Ugh. So here's the new resistor. This is what said new resistor looks like. And if you couldn't tell, yeah, it's a bit fried. It's a bit fried. So it's probably gonna do that again, but at least it'll be working for a tiny bit. The connector kind of got mangled, but at least the pins were able to come out just fine. Anyways, get that. Turns out, okay, so there was a couple things going on with this car. First thing was a P0306 coming from the spark plugs. At least that's what I assume it was. Replaced all of them. They're good to go. I think cylinder 6, the one it was showing up for, had a aftermarket ignition coil. That's probably why it eventually failed. But for now, it seems to be fine. It's still throwing up a P0401 code, which is related to the EGR valve. So I'm gonna take the throttle body apart again, this time for a deep clean. I just need to wait on some gaskets in order to finish that job. Wheel bearing, I thought it was bad, the front right. After switching to winter tires, the sound went away. So it might just be something with the other set of rims that I need to sort out, but at least for now, it is fine. So let's get this in. This is the only real thing I have to clean this up with. I'm doing absolutely nothing right now. Just throw in a little bit of dielectric grease. Just into the connector. And that should sort that out. Might have put a bit too much, but frankly, I don't really care. drilling stuff. Okay. Last but not least, just need to connect it just like so. And now, the moment of truth. If it would. There we go. Hell yeah! Oh, it stinks though. That hasn't been used in a long time. Holy smokes. Okay, let's get defrosting here. So there you go. That's that. And then we just need to put it back together. So let's do that, shall we? Okay, that's put back together. And with all that cleaned up, I'm still in front of Princess Auto. And I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Look at this beautiful dash cam. Dash cam. Backup camera. Wow. Currently sideways? No, they're on an angle. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. There is like nothing in this truck. It is a 2000 Ford F-150. It does have the floor transfer case though, which is nice. Not a turn dial. All this is manual stuff. Shablooey. This was caved in for a bit, but I managed to pull it out. This is still broken, but that string thing is working, so I'm not worrying about it. Everything here works. There's wires leading to the backup camera, which I can turn off then. There's the cluster, which works-ish, aside from the fact that the parking brake light doesn't turn on when you apply the parking brake, and the transfer case light doesn't work properly, like the 4x4 and 4 low. Aside from that, it's pretty flawless. That P0401 code that's throwing up in the EGR valve, that one I believe affects the idle a tiny bit, but other than that, it's just airflow stuff. It's fine. Need to throw in some stuff anyways. And yeah, save. Very nice. Right now, all I'm doing is just waiting for a phone call. That phone call is for my EGR valve, because that is the last thing, or EGR valve, or throttle body gasket, and then I'll be good. The part source that I went to had everything except for one of the gaskets. So I'll be waiting for that as it comes in. It should arrive today, hopefully. And like, I should be getting a call around now. But I'll see you then. So, an easy thing to do is just set the clock, because one of the things about this truck, it is not 12:47. Okay, so if I do RDS, ooh, select hour. I guess select means that, yes. Select RDS again to select minutes. Let's go 44. There we go. Cool. That's done. But yeah, look at that. 158. Very nice. I'm now in front of Part Source. Still waiting on that call. Yeah, I didn't really get around to that. The EGR valve, I have all the stuff and it's ready to go, at least the gaskets for it, but it hasn't really thrown up the code at all since then. It's pretty rare, and it's usually from me doing something stupid. So for now, as you've heard, it's already been a month, so I'm just leaving it be. It seems to be happy as it is, and I don't really want to mess around with it too much to potentially destroy it if it is perfectly fine for what it is. It probably is a bit dirty still. That's probably why it's still throwing up the code, but it's not as much of a serious issue that I really could care about. Anyways, time skip. Forgot to unlock the back. Okay. Don't have much battery left, so let's try and make this one quick. Car is warmed up enough. Turn it off. It's time to do an oil change. Whoa. Okay, back so soon? Who am I kidding? The camera died, and frankly I was too lazy to charge it because I was already on a roll, basically. Regardless, you'll see pretty soon that something else came up, which I was not expecting. A little gremlin decided to wreak havoc inside of this truck and leave me stranded in the parking lot of a Canadian Tire. Fun times. So oil change took like 30 minutes, 50 minutes, not bad. Transmission flush took the entire day. You know the deal. We're under here again because I went to Canadian Tire and then the starter decided to crap out. You can't see it already. I pray for you, but or just be glad you don't have to deal with this. But yeah, probably shouldn't be doing this with the battery plugged in. Let me just quickly undo that. So this wonderful thing happened with the starter. You can't see it. Something doesn't look right about that cable. Oh, had to jimmy it so that it can actually get started. Yeah, it's not connected anymore. That's the positive. So, safe to say, when I got out of the Canadian Tire, tried to turn on the truck, got one click and nothing. Yeah, the starter wasn't connected. And also, I tried to fix it there. Got it loose, as you can see. That's because these threads are stripped. So you have to cut this nut off. and then find a way to mount the new bracket in place. So that's fun. So after successfully taking off the entire thing and not just the nut, the starter's out. This one's not too bad. It was just 2 bolts. I think there should be 3, but there's only 2, and it's the 2 that are easiest to get to, so I'm not complaining. I doubt I'm gonna be able to find just the solenoid because that's the part that's actually broken, because a lot of these are just remanufactured completely, but we can try. I doubt it. And like, as you can see, yeah, this thing's pretty much done. Like, I could try to work it out, but like, it's not even worth it, really. Okay, so yeah, I can only find ones that replace the entire starter, and I don't really want to wait, so we're just gonna, yeah, we're doing something stupid. Doing something stupid, but it's gonna work anyways. Let it extend, that'll go up, put that in. Which one? The starter is in, and as you can see, there's a new post connection. So all I need to do now is just find a way to line this up and connect it. And boom! We are in the truck now. We are in the truck now. And boom, it starts. And that only took like the entire day. That's a lie. Sort of. So yeah, it did take the better half of an entire day, but it's also like 2 days after that. Yeah, I'm kind of losing the plot with this video. The camera keeps dying and I don't really care that much. We do have the little camera now, but it's not charged, nor is the mic. So you'll have to deal with this iPhone quality for now. What's next is to bleed all the brakes, all 4 of them. I tried to do that this morning, but the bleeder screws are kind of non-existent almost, or they feel like they're going to disintegrate. So before that happens, I want to use man's best friend in the rust belt, good old heat, to loosen it up, loosen the rust, and hopefully salvage those cylinders. Are you in there? Yes, you are. Okay. Well, let's get on with Fun time. Oh, it's free. Only took you forever. Holy smokes. I want this to be higher. Alright, so this is what we're working with. That is very dark. Seems to be doing well. So you guys can sit here in the dark. Oh, flashlight. Alright, that works. So that's one bled. It's not perfect, but it'll have to do for now. Because if you take a look at the actual brake hardware, this is pretty clean. Pretty clean. I'm surprised they stopped there and didn't try to bleed the brakes. But anyway, we bled them now. That's the one I'm really worried about. And it's starting to snow everywhere. This is great. Okay. Slide you into place. Lock you in. Okay. So we got some parts to try out. These are the supposed replacement bleeder valves, or bleeder screws. I'm going to test that claim by checking out this one over here. So this should be a 10 mil. Want to make sure that when we put it on proper. We're going to use a bit of grease just to encourage it to not stay permanently, ideally. Just need to clamp onto it and break it free again. Ah, you're kidding. Unscrew it with our hand now. Spewing out brake fluid. Doesn't look 1-to-1, but in theory should work. And then snug it down with the wrench. Don't do anything crazy, just needs to be snug enough. And now I just need to bleed the brakes again. Get our homemade contraption. There we go, nice little spot for it. And we can go ahead and pump the brakes a couple times. How's this thing doing? How many air bubbles do we got? Not much. So let's try it again. Yeah, you can see that fluid is not very nice, which is wonderful.
That thing is doing good. Okay. So, get a rag. You want to do this the opposite way now, so bring this down so that's low, so that he can peel off the bleeder by the top first. So wiggle it off. You'll know it's off once you start seeing air entering the system, which doesn't seem to be doing right now. That's a nice seal. Whoops, that pulled it off all the way. But generally speaking, you can pull off just a tiny bit just to break the seal. Air will flow in from the top and push this down, so you don't make a mess. Luckily, it was already, gravity already took over by that point, so there wasn't a mess to begin with. Nice. So that's one side successfully serviced and bled properly. Time to get done with the other side. Let's just throw that in there. A lighter. Cool. It is still very weak, but it should be more than. You can't really see it, but I win. I win. I win. Oh no! This sucks. Anyways, it's out. Yeah, it got a bit more rusty than I was expecting. Because this one is clean compared to that. Wonderful. Anyways, time to do the fronts. Okay, so this thing is done. The front brakes were actually so good. They worked exactly as they are supposed to work and as intended. Oh, it's beautiful. It truly is beautiful. I forgot to grab the chocks. We're gonna take it for a quick spin just to see how it is. The last brake job, they only bled the front brakes because those ones had no issues and the screws were not seized at all. The rear ones, on the other hand, you know how that went. So yeah, turn on the light. Nice little interior. You can see the mileage on that, which is in kilometers. Very epic. Okay, let's see it. For a quick little spin around the block. Gotta get the safety first. Anyways, lights on and braking test. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's much better. You can definitely feel it now. Alright, time to park it. And with that, This thing is set. Yeah, that's all. At least for now.
And that brings us to today. Another 1,000 kilometers on her, reading about 161, and she's going strong. She's going very strong for what she is. Like, I have no complaints. It is working perfectly as intended, and as you'll see in future videos to come, you'll see why I needed this. Till next time, take care.